Okay, have you ever wished you could just ask a video a question? I don't mean searching for a keyword. I mean actually have a real conversation with it. Well, let's dive right in, because this new tech called Video RAG is basically turning that sci-fi idea into something you can actually do.
I mean, just think about it for a second. All those hours of recorded lectures, team meetings, super complex documentaries, even your family videos. It's this huge untapped library of knowledge, right? But getting to any specific piece of information has always been, well, almost impossible. And that right there is the big promise. The idea that you can finally talk to your videos. You can ask questions about what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and get answers back like you're talking to an expert who's already watched every single frame for you. So, to really get why this is such a huge leap, we kind of have to remember how frustrating the old way was. And come on, we've all been there, right? Trying to find that one specific moment in a super long recording. Oh, it's such a familiar pain, isn't it? You're just scrubbing back and forth on that timeline, just hoping you land on the right spot. And yeah, a simple keyword search might find a word on the transcript, but it totally misses the point. It misses the context, the visuals, all the deeper ideas being discussed. It's a surface level tool for a really deep problem. So the real solution here isn't just a better search bar. Nope. The solution is to completely change how we interact with video in the first place, moving away from a clunky search to a totally natural, intuitive conversation. And this is where it gets real, where it becomes a tool you can actually use. The core tech, the framework, is called VideoRAG, but the app that brings it all to life is named Vimo. It's a desktop app that's designed to be that perfect conversational partner for your entire video library. You know, what I love about this quote is the phrasing, as if talking to a human expert. It's not just about getting an answer, it's about the quality of that answer. The whole point is to make it feel like you're talking to someone who genuinely has a deep, comprehensive understanding of everything in that video. Okay, so how does this magic trick actually work? What's the technology that makes this kind of deep conversational understanding even possible? Let's pull back the curtain and take a look at the AI behind it all. All right, the core concept here is something called retrieval augmented generation, or RAG for short. The best way to think about it is like an open book exam for an AI. So instead of just making up an answer from its general memory, the AI first has to go and retrieve the specific, relevant facts directly from the source material, which in this case is your video. And only then does it generate an answer based on that solid evidence it just found. So how does that RAG process work with something as complex as video? Well, first, the system just ingests everything, the visuals, the audio, every spoken word. Then, this is where the magic really happens. It builds what's called a structured knowledge graph. Just picture a super detailed mind map of every person, object, and idea in that video and exactly how they all connect. So when you ask a question, the AI isn't just looking for words. It's navigating this entire map to find the most relevant scenes and concepts. That's how it gives you a genuinely informed answer. And this table just lays it out perfectly. It shows the massive difference. We're going from old school, keyword-based searches that just spit out a list of timestamps to a real conversational query that gives you a synthesized, complete answer. And maybe the most important part, it can understand context not just in a single video, but across your entire collection of videos at once. So who is all this for, really? Well, the clever part is that it's designed for pretty much everyone, from a casual user all the way up to a professional researcher. Let's break down what that looks like. For most of us, it's designed to be, well, dead simple. You just drag and drop your video files and you start asking questions in plain, everyday English. No complicated setup. Plus, it's ready to go on macOS, Windows, and Linux. But here's the thing. It also scales up big time for the pros. Just imagine analyzing a 100-hour documentary series or comparing key moments across a dozen different lectures all at once. It basically turns your entire video archive into one single searchable dataset. And for the research community, it goes even deeper. The whole framework is open source, which means developers can get under the hood and see exactly how it all works. The team even released their longer videos benchmark dataset, basically inviting everyone else to test, challenge, and build on top of their amazing work. But look, making big claims is one thing. You need big proof to back it up. So the team behind VideoRAG put their system through an incredibly tough test, just to see if it could really handle complex, long-form video. And this is that benchmark, longer videos. And what's really important to notice here is the diversity. They didn't just test it on one easy type of content. Nope.
They threw everything at it. Over 64 hours of lectures, almost 30 hours of really dense documentaries, and more than 40 hours of entertainment stuff. They did all that to make sure the AI was tough enough to handle completely different styles, paces, and subjects.
So, what's the grand total? Almost 135 hours of video. I mean, this isn't some test on a handful of 2-minute YouTube clips. This is a real deal stress test designed specifically to push the absolute limits of long-form video understanding, which, by the way, is a task where pretty much every other method would just completely fall apart.
Okay, so we've gone through the tech details and the performance numbers. But what does it all mean? Why does this matter? Why is this such a big step forward?
The big takeaway, the so what of all this, is that we are watching a fundamental shift in how we relate to video. For decades, video has been a totally passive thing we just watch. This technology, it transforms your video library into an active research assistant, something you can actually engage with, ask questions, and learn from in a way that's never been possible before. And really, that's the ultimate goal, and it's captured perfectly by the creators themselves. This isn't just about adding a cool new feature. It's about fundamentally transforming our entire experience from just passively watching something to actively engaging with it. And that leaves us with a really fascinating thought to end on. We're on the verge of unlocking this entire universe of information that's been trapped on tapes and in digital files for like a century. So if every single video is now a database we can talk to, a story we can actually have a conversation with, just imagine what new insights and discoveries are just sitting there waiting for us to find.